to StarTalks powered by Advotalks. I am your host Siraj, and today we have with us our most esteemed guest, Ms. Priyanka Singh, who is a data privacy expert. With a background in criminal, civil, and matrimonial law, she took a fascinating leap into the world of data privacy. Now she is at the forefront of this critical field, working for one of the most globally prestigious organizations. Priyanka's legal expertise is quite impressive, but her passion for data privacy is what truly sets her apart. She has transitioned from the courtroom to the corporate world, where she delves into the complexities of data privacy laws across India, the UK, and the European Union, with a particular focus on the GDPR, that is the Global General Data Protection Regulations. Today, she has joined us at Star Talks to express her views on diverse profiles in legal career and the challenges that are there in the transition of these roles. I should admit that I'm quite excited to host her. With that, I warmly welcome Ms. Priyanka Singh to our talk show, Star Talks powered by Advotalks. Welcome to the show, Ms. Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Siraj. Such a warm welcome and such an interesting, introduction. Well, I would say that I'm really honored to be here and to share my expertise and help the budding lawyers, in how to basically how to shift from a very basic and because when we come to law, what basically strikes our mind is that litigation. Let's do practice, but shifting from litigation to a corporate world and to such an interesting domain, I think my expertise will really help the people out there who are so enthusiastic, because I do get requests even today on LinkedIn asking me, "Ma'am, please guide us. We are really enthusiastic about data privacy." And I think this is the correct platform where I can share my experience and how I transitioned from litigation to a very unorthodox and very interesting domain here. And thank you so much for welcoming me and giving me this platform. And yeah, we can just start with it. I'm really
Yes.
excited.
So we are quite excited here at Advotalks as well, Priyanka, and this is going to be quite insightful. That's what we believe for our audience. And let me start this discussion with you, Priyanka. So let's begin by unpacking the idea of a typical legal professional. So how did your background in the areas of law like criminal, civil, and matrimonial law lead you to this different and fascinating world of data privacy?
So honestly, not to mislead anyone, but it was a little luck by chance, I would say. See, I am a first gen lawyer and I don't have a legal backup or anyone else in my family. No one is a lawyer in my family. And being a girl and choosing this profession was in itself a very bold step, I feel. Even today when I see females opting for law, I feel really proud that you should go ahead and explore this, because it is such a diverse field, I feel, that it is not just litigation that you can focus on, but now every nook and corner of the country or around the world, legal expertise, legal advisors, legal advisor compliances, they are coming up, and they are basically they're creating more jobs on the legal front now. The only thing is we just have to broaden our horizons, search for these options, and just go for it. Because I feel we, like, when we grow up, the only thing that we hear, okay, if you're a lawyer you have to practice or probably go for judiciary or maybe for an APO exam. But no, it doesn't stop there. It's more than that. So yes, I would say that initially I started my career in litigation, of course, because that's how I, the idea, because I had no guidance, to be honest. So that was the only, I felt, option that I had. After that, while litigation also, it was, see, litigation is very interesting, no doubt. And I loved it. But, when you explore something out of your comfort zone, you start loving that as well. So shifting from criminal, matrimonial issues and civil issues and coming to a completely technical and a very different world, because corporate world is so different from the litigation world. Yes, whatever aptitude that I developed there, analyzing the research work, because litigation is also a research work. You first research, you prepare your case, you prepare your drafts, evidences and everything, and then you come forward for the date and you present your case. Here also, in data privacy, this is the same thing. Obviously, there's no court, but yes, you have to research. And I think my research skills, which I had learned there, when I was litigating has helped me here also. Because the power of reading is something that we need to understand. Because when you start reading, you need to enjoy it also. I have seen people who read, but they're not able to grasp it, not able to understand it. So I think this thing from litigation really helped me. These skills which I learned there, to analyze a case, a situation from every angle, has helped me to interpret the same thing here at my current profession. So yeah, so I feel that 50% or maybe more than that, I go to litigation also. The skill that I've learned there, I'm using it here also.
Great to bring that story of your transition. So being a female practitioner in the inception, as well as the first gen lawyer, as you have actually brought in the right point, that there may be a lot of inhibitions and apprehensions for
Hmm,
the practitioner as such. You would have gone through all of them, and then you have chosen a very wide, I should say diverse profile right now, which is the data privacy.
hmm,
It doesn't really is something that can be explained. I wanted to know more about the challenges that you would have gone through. Definitely it is charismatic at the
hmm,
end for others, but I wanted to learn from you what are the challenges
hmm,
from the
hmm,
transition aspect from the courtroom to
hmm,
the corporate world, and
hmm,
especially what were the
hmm,
biggest challenges you faced in this shift, and how your
hmm.
earlier practice related legal expertise
Hmm.
translate to your current role, Priyanka.
Okay, so the challenges that I face. So I told you the pros here. Now I'll tell you the cons here. So data privacy is also a technical role. Coming from a legal background, because in my company I have people who are from BTech background, who have done engineering, and their understanding of data privacy, because it is not just about reading the law but following it also. And when you follow that law, the data privacy law, it is technical in nature as well. You need to be aligned with it. So the things that I am facing here, see, I'll give you an example. So there is a process known as data privacy impact assessment. So when you do that, you'll get different requests, for conducting that. And when you get requests, they'll be technical in nature as well. Sometimes, we'll get requests to conduct the assessment for the technical tools, which, I have no idea about. So you'll have to, research on that. Like what exactly is this tool about? What is it working? So I think for lawyers, that is something where, we kind of lack. Because there are technical terms and so certain engineering terms are being used, which we are not aware about. Yes, we read the law, we interpret it, we know what we have to do. We have to be compliant with it. But when you start working on it, when it comes into practice, you have to have that techno legal knowledge also, but that comes with experience. So I think this is one thing, because with litigation it was interpreting the law, nothing major technical was there. See, the criminal law was there, and then matrimonial. So this was something where I am still learning, since we are lawyers. So it's always said that lawyers are students for the rest of their lives. So that's what I feel. So till date also, when anything technical comes up, yes, I have to give my 200% in the research work. But when something legal comes, it's easy for me. So I think this is something where I would feel that the budding advocates who want to explore data privacy, they should also look at the techno side of data privacy as well. Don't just focus yourself on, okay, fine, we'll read the law, we'll do it. No, when you practice it in an organization, you'll understand that it is not just legal in nature; it is very technical in nature also. So I would say, yes, go through the law, but also, understand that the processes that the law is asking us to follow, they are technical. So this is something I would say I'm learning on that. And this is something where the cons are, really.
Thanks for bringing those challenges, and especially the kind of way you have to inculcate the that nature of understanding the technology side,
Hmm,
as you mentioned. Techno-legal is
exactly.
something that definitely
Hmm,
the area of knowledge that you have to grab. Let's
hmm,
try to understand more on the data privacy for us and our audience. Data privacy is a critical and ever evolving field. For us, can you kind of
true.
walk us through the complexities of navigating the data privacy laws across various geographies like India, the UK, and the
Hmm,
EU,
hmm,
and probably try
hmm,
to bring more emphasis on the GDPR, that is
hmm,
much of a
hmm,
discussion point
hmm.
today
Yes.
across the globe, that is the general data protection regulations.
I would say that Europeans, they are very far-sighted. They foresee the future for some reason, because they are the first ones who actually went. They were so bold enough that they drafted this law, and since 1995, or maybe prior to that also, I think probably in 80s, they started understanding the concept of privacy, and that's how from then they started drafting the laws. So in 1995, when internet was just at an infant stage, they drafted the directives, which were replaced by GDPR here in 16. Turn 16, they basically drafted GDPR, and which came into being in 18. So I would say that their vision is about the future is so clear, crystal clear, that today this is the only comprehensive law that every country in the world is taking it as a base to draft their own law. It's like an inspiration for everyone. When we come to India also, yes, we have a law now, but we're just waiting for the rules to come up and implementation to take place. So I think we are still at an infant stage, I believe. Because once the law is implemented, amendment will take place. It will not be perfect in all its sense. No law is perfect. It has to be ever changing. Since technology is changing, the laws are out to change. But I feel we have a lot to learn right now. Yes, I'm really happy that India has its own law now, and we are, moving in that direction. But yes, when it comes to GDPR, if you start reading the law, you'll understand that the Europeans were able to foresee something that I don't think any of the country in the world would. They have made such high administrative fines, that if any organization is dealing with them, they have to be very careful with the data of the European people. Also, I'll start with how things evolved there. So there was a case there, Screms one. I'll talk about that. So there was this Irish citizen who complained to the Irish data commissioner, which is basically the DPA, the authority which looks to data privacy, that he had basically complained that US intelligence agencies are they're kind of retrieving his data, or reviewing it. Like for basically for Irish Facebook company, the data is being transferred to Facebook US, and the data is not safe. His rights are being violated. So what happened? Nothing really. The data privacy commissioner did not really take up that. So the case was the High Court transferred the case to the CGI, okay, the Chief Court of Justice of European Union. So from there was a framework at that time known as the Safe Harbor. Under this framework, the US citizens could deal with the data of European citizens. They could have contracts with them, and the companies could deal. But once the Court of Justice of European Union realized that this what you call this framework is not safe, the data of our citizens is not safe here. They are not following the principles properly. They declared it invalid. Then came Screms 2. Okay. After this, they drafted the data privacy framework, Shield framework. Okay. In Screms 2 also, that was declared invalid, because when you talk about GDPR, there are several principles there, which they follow very religiously. So if these seven principles are not followed, even one of them is not followed, the Europeans, they stop dealing with the other countries. They're like, no, you have to follow this, otherwise you're in violation of our law. So even in Screms 2, the data privacy shield framework was invalidated. Then now they have a data privacy framework again between US and Europe, which is, yes, now it is kind of valid. But these two cases kind of shook the very foundation, of how we perceive privacy. Suddenly a man comes up, he's saying, I feel my data is not safe on Facebook. And the US intelligence agencies are, probably reviewing it, they are misusing it. And suddenly, so that's what I'm trying to say, that Europe is Europeans are people that were able to foresee everything. If you go through the cases, you'll understand that even at that time, when these cases were there, they were so far-sighted, and they could foresee the future, that privacy is something that needs to be adhered to. Now, at that time, UK was part of EU. So yes, UK also followed. They drafted, had the same law. Once Brexit happened, if you go through a UK law as well, it is similar to what GDPR is. Yes, so it is completely on the same lines. but now they are gradually, making certain changes. Secondly, GDPR has certain transfer mechanisms also. Like if you're transferring data of European citizens, outside Europe, so you have to follow these certain things. If you're not adequate as per the European GDPR, so adequacy means that if a country is adequate and they're following all the 7 principles and they're compliant with GDPR, you don't require these transfer mechanisms. But if you're not, like India is an inadequate country, we're not still under the adequate list. So we'll have to follow these transfer mechanisms. One of them is very popular, SCC, that is standard contraction clauses. So you have to, it's basically a standard document, and and you have to sign the standard document while dealing with any company in Europe, and if the data is transferred being outside Europe. So these are the things that I feel that India, is inculcating in its own law as well. We have data controller in India, it's called data fiduciary. We have data subjects, data processor. All these, these terms, though they are technical in nature, but this is what I'm trying to say. Yes, it is technical in nature, but once you start reading the law, at one go you will not understand it. You'll have to read it again. You'll have to research completely. But it is a very beautiful law, okay, on data privacy. And I would suggest, to all the budding data privacy enthusiasts to start with their journey first reading the GDPR. First read that in a very simple. Don't take stress. Read the law, understand the basic terms, understand the 7 principles that are there. Only then, if you're able to understand that law, I'm so sure you'll be able to pursue your career in this field very nicely. So this is something that in my entire journey I've learned that the base is always GDPR when you decide on that. Go through the history of GDPR, go through these 2 cases, Schrems 2, Schrems 1, Schrems 2, you will understand what is the history behind all that. Only then I think you'll be able to decide whether, this is something that you see, becoming a data privacy expert or not. Because I feel that, at times we just jump into such professions and without realizing that whether we're interested in it or not, or we have the passion or the knack for it or not. So this is one thing that I would like to, recommend to people, that first do your research, read the law, understand it, and then, you should go for it.
Thanks, Priyanka. Like you have kind of brought the emphasis on what across the globe the communities have actually given importance to the privacy aspect, and today data privacy is something that we definitely have to keep it at the center, on a multiple transactional level and contractual level. And thanks for bringing those aspects of fundamental evolutionary aspects like the SCREMS 1 and 2 and a lot of other, aspects of the Irish matters that have actually kind of, got validated. Let me understand more from you from the perspective of someone as an aspirant to get into the data privacy as a field. I know that it's a rapidly growing field. So how to kind of catch up this particular field, which is rapidly kind of diverse and growing? What kind of specific skills or experiences would you recommend law students cultivate to prepare for a career in this particular data privacy area?
In my case, it was like by chance, to be honest. Okay, I entered Infosys and I was made part of the team, and gradually I learned and I grew from there, and that's how I hold the experience. But yes, since many organizations are now having their own DPO department, and they are focusing on the privacy aspect a lot. So what recently I have read is that certifications. So you have LLM also in data privacy, which will help. If you want to do masters, you can go data privacy for masters, which will really help you getting an entry at the entry level also, which will help you. Because see, yes, there are companies who are so experienced, but then for people who are just graduating, how can you expect them to have an experience in data privacy? So the only second option is left certifications. So you have different certifications. There are free also and there are paid also. So one of the most asked for certification, which is paid one, I'll say CIPP. And they give you certification different geographical location, like CIPE is for Europe, so you can go for that. Then it's for US also, you can go for that as well, though that will pricey, I would say. But if you're talking on the free side, so there is this website known as OneTrust, where you can choose your certification. You can give, it's not just that you're just looking at the videos, they also test you on that. Once you're done with the course, you'll have to prepare for the test. They'll take it online, and if you pass the test, then you can easily add that in your CV also, that you have completed the certification of OneTrust. So if you want to go on that side, recently I've discovered security. It's SECURITI. So this is a website where even that provides you with certifications which are free of cost. So you can start adding these certifications in your CV, because there are companies who are which are not looking for experience in data privacy, but if you have these certifications, they will help you. They'll definitely employ you in their organizations, because what happens is, even I am doing certification side by side. Okay, I'm doing it on OneTrust also, and maybe later on I'll also do CIPE. I am interested in doing that. So I would say you focus on getting the degree for data privacy. Okay, LLM is there, certifications are there for entry level people, and the people who just graduated from the law school. So there are a lot of organizations like Deloitte is there. Wipro is there. They have their own data privacy offices, and I'm sure if you have any sort of certification there, they will definitely welcome you in their organization. So this is something which you should look for. But yes, certification is not the only thing I would say. Apart from the experience, you can for the budding enthusiast, I would say, if you don't have the experience, do the certification, but also read the law, understand the law. Just doing the certification might give you an entry into an organization, but you have no idea about the law, then it might be a difficult journey for you, to begin with. So I would say yes, you do the course, acquire the degree, but apart from that, please continue reading the laws also. There are different laws. Even China has their own law now. Now in the US as well, CCP is there, but now a different states in US, like Utah has its own law now. Then Kentucky, then New Jersey, they're having their own rolling out their own data privacy laws. So it's better to have that knowledge as well, which will help you, not just in cracking the interview, but also once you start working, you will get a hand of it. It will help you in your own professional life. So please, I would suggest that, because I have seen people who have certification but have no knowledge about it. They're just blindly doing the certifications, but when it comes to work, they even if you're asking them the basic like, who is the controller here, who is the processor here, who is the data subject here, so they get confused. These are very basic terms that you have to understand. GDPR talks about these terms in a very what should I say, in a very simple way. So I would suggest, yes, have the backup of having the degree, but also have the knowledge also.
Thanks, Priyanka. So, highlighted aspects are like there are masters also that you can pursue in the data privacy, and as well as the certifications that are going to be kind of very useful for entering into the corporate world, and the understanding of the laws specifically. So you should adopt to some research methodologies to kind of keep yourself updated. That's a great key takeaway for us, Priyanka. So let me try to understand from your perspective. So these days we do see that many law students basically make up themselves, right? Like that they have to start with the traditional legal path out, for the career. Basically, they'll start with a
Hmm.
paralegal kind of an assistance, and
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
get into the court practice, and then assisting a senior advocate and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I could see that with the advancements of the technology, there are a lot of specialized fields. Like one, definitely you are into the data privacy, the data protection aspects as well, and there are more diverse fields like cyber
Hmm.
laws, right? So, what kind of suggestions you wanted to give to the aspirants who are interested in exploring these kind of non-traditional legal careers?
Okay. So I would stress on one thing. Like, before you graduate, I would say you should do internships. Internships, they give you a clarity on exactly what you want and how do you want to, pursue your career in the legal domain. Once you start interning, and not just like interning under a specific, subject matter, like just criminal or civil. I think starting from the first year, you should try to explore, and you should intern under every possible legal field that you can get. You can go for NGOs, you can go for women commissions, you should go for, yes, you should go for criminal, civil, and all these also, because internships will definitely give you a clarity. It will but internship does not mean just going there, sitting there, doing nothing. I have seen that. So I would say, find a senior or find an organization where you can actually learn and work and understand where you stand, what your interest is. One. Second, exploring these different fields. Yes, you're right. Cybersecurity law is there. Now, recently, I'm seeing, there is demand for, media law also. That I see on LinkedIn as well that many organizations, they're asking for people who have experience in the media industry. They want such people also. Then IPR is there. Then you have arbitration. So I feel, apart from having this typical, I would say, stereotypical mentality that litigation is the only way to move forward in the legal field. No, I would suggest that you see, everything depends on your research. Everything depends on your experience during your 3 years or 5 years of your college. You internship. That is why I'm stressing on internships here, because internships in if you start doing it, you'll understand where your interest lies, and after that you can easily decide whether you want to go for litigation or you really want to go for something which is a little different from the stereotypical standards that are set for all for us, for especially the first gen lawyers, that you have to be in litigation and you have to struggle so much because you don't have the backup and all that. So I would suggest that you should explore more fields like data privacy. Yes, these are hotcakes at this point of time. Definitely go for it. And but apart from that, you should try to explore. See, M&As there, my merger and acquisitions are there. Then contract management, contracts, companies are giving good compensation. If you want to go for contract management, reviewing the contracts. Then you have in-house legal. Many organizations have their own legal team built in, who are drafting the contracts for them, rather than outsourcing it from outside, which will be much more pricey for them. So I think, rather than having that very traditional what you say mindset, you should try and move out of it. And one more thing, I feel that in today's world, like, the education is also evolving. The legal field, the way we are being taught is also evolving. Like in my time, it was a pretty much a traditional method. Teacher used to come in the class and teach us, and we used to leave. But now it is more practical based, I would say. Assignments are given, presentations, and even your what you call examinations. Of course, they are there, but then they're very practical based. So I think this is something which is helping today's budding advocates here, or the law graduates here, because of the system that these colleges are adopting. I did not have that opportunity, but yes, still I'm grateful to my college. But yes, I think you should focus on on the practical approach, rather than just mugging up and everything. uh, the only thing I would say is that please don't set your mind to one goal. Explore, okay, do your research, because the legal field is very vast. You have no idea. You have compliance managers today. I have my batchmates, who are into companies like HP, HCL, and see, we did not have a tech sort of a subject also, during our law. But they are in these companies. They have become the tech lawyers as well. And they are working on open source licenses, and looking at the legality of all these things. So I would say, you should not focus on just one point. Try and do your research, because legal field is very vast. You have media law, you have cyber law, you have IPR, you have arbitration, you have merger and acquisition, you have contract management. Now data privacy is there. So yes, I would say, just please don't be stuck on one thing. There's a lot to do. Not just see, obviously everybody wants to go for judiciary. They want to become a very famous lawyer. Yes, that is a personal experience, opinion, and everything. I respect that. But apart from that, try and do more research. I'm sure you will find something way more fascinating than what currently you have in your mind. So just have a very broad, thoughtful process. And yes, I would still encourage that the budding my juniors and all the law graduates that definitely they'll find something which will appeal and which will definitely create that passion inside them for the legal industry.
Right, Priyanka. So that's a good takeaway to kind of, have a good connect with the industry and then try to take up assignments in the form of research from the universities or the kind of, from the organizations and in the form of internships as well as you mentioned. Definitely, these are going to be pretty much useful. And when it comes to the, experienced professionals, so how do you think that, a career shift can actually kind of, affect, and what are those things that as an experienced practitioner I should be looking into to kind of shift into diverse field like data privacy or something else like you have mentioned into IPR and stuff like that.
Okay, so yes, this is the question which I am often asked, by my juniors also, and people who approach me that how did you shift from, from litigation to data privacy, or from this domain to data privacy. So this is something, as far as my organization is concerned, I would say that Infosys has given, opportunity to litigators as well here. I am seeing people who are from litigation background, but because their knowledge is so strong, and during the interview, when they are giving their interview, their knowledge and their experience is so strong that my organization looks at that positive aspect, even if they are not having the experience in data privacy, but still, whatever they were doing in litigation, somewhere they were good at that, and during the interview they were able to showcase it, and that's how I have seen the people from litigation background who are being hired here. So I think this is one thing, that whatever you do, please try and give your 100%. Secondly, for experienced persons who want to shift to data privacy, again I'm saying, right now, data privacy, for experienced or non-experienced, certifications are important. Many organizations are, they're focusing on certification, they're focusing on the masters in data privacy. So I would suggest, and your knowledge also. So I would definitely suggest that you should, if you're really interested, you should go for certain certifications. Like I previously said, that will definitely help you. Yeah, if
Yeah.
maybe probably 2 years back, if someone wanted to shift to data privacy, maybe it would have been easier. Maybe, I'm just saying, because for me, when I shifted from litigation to the corporate world, I had the interview, I had my legal knowledge, and I got into the organization on the basis of that. And gradually, internally from the organization, I was, basically they recruited me for data privacy. And at that time, I had zero knowledge. I was like, what is this? And I was completely clueless. I was like, what exactly? See, this one talking about research. I had no idea that you have such domains are available for us, for lawyers, and I was completely confused on what exactly this is. But once I started working, I started reviewing the data, the DPAs, the SSCs, and the agreements which had the data privacy clause. That's how I started understanding. Okay, this is something which you can build your career in. And gradually from there, I became part of the regulatory team. Became part of the, now I'm currently handling the subsidiaries. So this is it's all about broadening your horizon, broadening your thought process, and understanding. But yes, I will still suggest that you should go for certifications, which will definitely help you. You can go for IPR also. You have ILI. I think they also provide you certifications in IPR. Then you can go for there is a college in the Mathura where they're providing their LLM in data privacy. I'm not able to recall the name here. Then you can also go for SCIPP is that you check a DSCI website also, and that is like our Indian data privacy website where you can go for certifications. So to kickstart your career, Siraj, again I'm saying because now the thing is that gradually after 1 year also, whenever a company will recruit for data privacy, they will ask for certifications. Yes, experience will count. Okay, people who have an experience, obviously they'll have a little more leverage over the
Right,
people
there
who
will be like
didn't.
the certifications like additional edge it will definitely be there,
Exactly.
and even for the
Yes.
experienced
Yes.
practitioners,
Yeah.
as you said, it is
Mm.
going to be very helpful. Priyanka, like
Yes,
we'll try to take the kind of one more question and then wind up. You
sure.
know, being a first generation lawyer comes up with kind of unique challenges. Can you share some insights for aspiring lawyers who may not have a traditional legal background from their
Hmm.
families?
Definitely, there are challenges, okay, and I'm not going to be biased or anything, but yes, being a female also and a first gen lawyer in this field, it comes with these challenges because first of all, you need to have a very good senior. That is one thing, because I have seen my batchmates working, for 6 months without any compensation, without any getting anything from their seniors. So this is one thing that first gen lawyers definitely face, because like if my father was a lawyer, I would be sitting there in his office, and I would be handling his cases. That would be a leverage, that would a privilege, actually, I would say, for me. But yes, as a first gen lawyer, this is one thing that you face. Second, the pay. the, Whenever you see an article, okay, about a vacancy under an advocate, it will say as per the industry standards. What are these industry standards? My question is that 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. You think surviving in a metro city with 10, 12,000 is sufficient for a first gen or a person coming from a background not wealthy enough to be able to, survive in the metros? So this is the second thing that you face. Thirdly, there are lawyers that they don't really want to give crucial cases, not crucial, but they don't want to really involve their juniors completely into a case. They'll give you, okay, you do the research work, that's it. Don't draft that, don't draft this. Drafting is one thing which is very important that you have to learn, once you're a junior, because if your drafting is good, definitely you'll be able to present your case very well. So this is one thing I feel, that there are certain seniors that don't give these opportunities, okay. uh, yes, the precedent that is being set, previously, uh, we get to hear, see, even in our days, we not used to get this much also. You should feel lucky that we're getting this much. So I think this is one thing that I don't like it, honestly. You are the seniors. Since you have faced it, you should set a more comfortable platform for the budding advocates also. I mean, giving 10,000 or 5,000 or 4,000 is nothing. How can a person survive? You say that in litigation you need at least 10 years, to give yourself, give your everything to litigation, and only after, or 10 years you'll be able to, and that's not even guaranteed that after 10 years have your own, you'll have your own practice that
Yeah.
should be established. So this is one thing that is something that I faced in the court. I have seen that there are advocates who will bring team of 10 or 15 junior advocates, which just to just to give that impression to the client, or to the other party, that we have a big team. And yes, being a girl also, when I used to go to the court and people used to stare at me, which definitely made me uncomfortable, because it was not something which they would do to a male advocate. But so these are the things that I did face. And yes, giving cases to first gen advocates, I think there is a set thought process which is there in the mind of the seniors, that iska legal knowledge itna pata nahi, no idea. And especially if you're not from NLU or A listed colleges, that also somehow basically backfires. I think what you can do is, brush up the law very nicely. Start, developing a good legal aptitude. Analyzing the legal cases, scenarios from different angles. I think your hard work and your smart work is the only key that will help you. I have also worked with such people who are first gen lawyers, had no legal background, but their knowledge and their grasp of the case, and the legal aptitude that they had really helped them to move forward. Yes, it is a very tough field. I know you will not get, not everyone will get good seniors, but I would still suggest that please don't lose heart or give up hope that isme kuch nahi ho sakta. I'm sure if you start working, because once you have an experience of 2 3 years, I'm sure you can also have your own clients. You can start developing that, make your own visiting cards, and wherever you go, just try and networking is one thing that I would say will help the first gen lawyers. Rest, yes, This field is beautiful, and at the same time the struggle is also real. Moving to that, I would like to also add one more thing to the point. Now, since AI, artificial intelligence, is like becoming the next big thing, with data privacy also, I would, and EU has also passed its own AI law. Like I said, they foresee the future and everything. And as per Europe, human intervention is very important while dealing with such technologies. They have also added this in GDPR as well. That giving complete control to such technologies or such softwares, and completely handing over to AI is not something that they are supportive of. So I would say, start researching on that, start exploring courses on AI, because the companies are opening doors to professionals who have an experience or are holding any sort of degree or any sort of certificates in AI. I'm sure this will really help you and boost your chances to enter the IT world. So yeah, I hope I was able to guide you well. And yes, do remember the seven principles of GDPR: transparency, fairness, lawfulness, accountability, accuracy, then data minimization, purpose limitation. I wish I could explain you, or all these principles, but yeah, I know we don't have much time, but maybe probably sometime in future. Yeah.
Time is definitely a constraint, and we may have to kind of, wind up this beautiful discussion. I should say it's quite kind of, inspiring to know from a professional like you what are those tips, and then what kind of skill sets that you have to adopt, be it the younger generation who are the budding aspirants and the budding practitioners, as well as those who are kind of well equipped with the field of law from lot many years in the form of experience. But how you have to kind of explore the new avenues which are kind of coming up in the future. So you
Hmm.
have brought the importance of AI and the emphasis of kind of even consideration of AI into the GDPR kind of regulations and the policy framework. I think like these are really key takeaways, and then the tips to kind of a lot many out there. I will kind of conclude this since time is always a constraint for all of us. This brings to the end of the great insightful conversation, Miss Priyanka. Thanks for helping us and our audience understand the various aspects of navigating the challenges faced in the transition within the legal career. We appreciate you for taking time for the podcast StarTalks and sharing invaluable advice. Once again, thanks a lot from Advotalks.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was great. It was a very wonderful discussion, and thank you to your team also, to Saida, especially for reaching me out on LinkedIn and scheduling calls and being in touch with me constantly. So yes, I'm really grateful, and probably in future, I'll be able to add more once I have more experience, and I'll be able to guide better. So yeah, let's stay in touch.
Definitely look forward for that, Ms. Priyanka. So, viewers, that's about the today's episode with data protection expert Ms. Priyanka Singh, which brings a lot of understanding about the diverse profiles that are available in the legal career and the challenges associated for transition of such roles. We hope the conversation was knowledgeable, and for more updates and information on legal concepts, please visit our website www.advotalks.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel Advotalks.